I second that motion.
There is one little place on here that there was a change. He was sort of left off here. That's okay. But it's been corrected.
Ralph wasn't included in those present,
Yeah.
and that will be corrected for the posting.
You're going to have to use your microphone.
Microphone, yes. There was a name left off the list. Can you hear that?
No.
It's on.
No? Okay. All in favor of approving the minutes? Motion passes. 4 count. Approval of financial statement of January 2013.
I'll make a motion to approve the financial statements as presented to the board for audit.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor? 3 voting. Anybody abstain?
No, I'm voting not to approve it, or not abstain, or whatever. There's still some mistakes on it, but they're working on getting it corrected.
Okay. Approval of transfer of funds.
I'll make a motion to approve the transfer of funds as presented to the board for paying our debts.
Do I have a second?
I will second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Oh boy. Director of Operations report. Please.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome. Happy post-Valentine's Day. Let's see. We got some exciting news and some exciting stuff that's been going on here at the fort. But before I get into all that, I'd like to say a big thank you to Betty Wright for being this year's election judge. It's a lot of hard work. I'd also like to thank my staff, especially Rihanna Hay, stepping up and filling some big shoes. And the volunteers that helped stuff that was representing each candidate. And while I'm on candidates, I'd like to say thank you for all 4 of you that are running. It is going to be quite the job to fulfill. As all the board members up here will tell you, that it's not easy, and especially during these trying times where there has to be a lot of changes made. And I'd like to say thank you to all you board members for serving on this board and being a part of this fight with me and the rest of the members who are looking for the change. With that being said, before I roll into our financial statement so that everybody can see, I'm going to try to continue with that so that everybody is apprised as we figure this stuff out and we continue to move forward and make that transition into a new financial system. I spoke with our auditor yesterday because I know a lot of you are anxiously awaiting our audit report. And yes, he will be here at the annual meeting on the 30th to go over the audit report with you guys. In the meantime, I spoke with him yesterday, and we are looking at about $190,000 to $194,000 profit. Okay, so that's some good news. Yay! And as you guys look around the fort, I'm sure you can see a lot of things, moving and shaking. Whether you're out and about looking at the swim park, amphitheater, or coming in the office, you will see lots of offices being painted, things being cleaned up. We are getting rid of stuff we don't use anymore in anticipation for hopefully at some point a cute little spring or summer garage sale. So if you'll, anytime you come in, I welcome you to pop your head in any of our offices and kind of see the different styles and flavors of the people's personalities that are working here. It's exciting and really exciting. Although I think Rihanna has the best office, she did one step above any of us, and she sponged her wall. So yeah, pop your head in and see that. She outdoes all of us. Let's see what else we have here. in all this change and hustle and bustling, I am so proud of our team and the people that have stuck with us and are seeing this through. I have to always step back and remind myself and my staff, we have to have a work-life balance in all this. We all want to make this happen overnight, but we physically can't. And it's just a constant reminder that I have to tell everybody, work-life. Life comes first, and then we do what we can do in an 8-hour time period. However, we're failing on that one. I think I had Carla here working Saturday and Sunday. But anyway, we hired a restaurant manager I'm so excited about. His name is Norman John, and we're looking to open up the Los Morris Grill sometime in early March, which is extremely exciting. We're going to start off with Friday, Saturday, Sunday brunch. Hang on, let me do this. Friday night, Saturday night, and then Sunday brunch. Hours would be 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. We're starting off easy. We're going to ease into this and see what we're going to get ourselves into since we haven't been in the restaurant business in, 8 years, roughly? But it's really exciting. Light menu, should be some good food, and I'm super excited about the Sunday brunch. Made to order omelets, mimosas maybe. All right, and the other thing we want to report here is our the other thing is collections. Beverly has been working on collections now for 4 months now, and we've made quite the stride.
Oh, Camille, would you mind? She's like, could you turn it on? And I'm like,
So, collections has been one of those things that everybody knows that we need to get a handle on. And slowly but surely, we're getting a handle on that. To put it into perspective, we are over $500,000 in uncollected debt from members. Okay? Currently, we have 487 delinquent accounts. Out of the 487, 67 are residential. 420 are just the memberships. We have 188 total FRMs, with 49 of those 188 are delinquent. We've collected $7,000 this past month in back fees, which is really exciting. We're moving forward with putting liens on properties that are our biggest, anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000. We're putting liens on homes. Is it plugged in? Maybe you guys should approve a new projector.
What gives you the clue?
Something that's wrong.
It's
not, the bulb's not coming on.
There it is, there it is. I got it.
There it goes.
Yeah, we can hear it. It sounds good.
There it goes. Sandy's gonna have it on her forehead here in a minute.
There it goes.
Light it up, light. Turn the lights on. Are you ready?
No, I'm not ready for that yet. Let's get you started.
That's behind your coffee cap. Jody, while y'all are doing that, I'm sorry, I walked in late. Did I understand you to say you're gonna open up the creek side? I mean,
the grill down here?
The Lost Morse Grill, yes ma'am.
Lost Morse Grill, we're gonna call it.
Yes ma'am.
All right, and when is that gonna happen?
Early March.
Early March.
Yes ma'am.
That's exciting.
Thank you.
That's wonderful, thank you.
And then while we're on that little smiling face, thank you, Miss Simmons. I love, and it's refreshing to get all of these support letters. The staff loves to see it, and it's really refreshing. So, you know, we feel your love and your support out there, and it's just really nice to get those letters. Part of this other change and cleanup, there it is we're going to be cleaning up our stickers. When's the last time you guys had your vehicle your membership stickers changed on your cars? It's been quite some time. So we are ordering new stickers. It'll be the same logo and everything, just a different color. And we'll start trying to get into that habit of where we're changing this out every year until we really get this list cleaned up. I think there's a lot of people who are no longer members that still have the stickers on. That goes as well as employees stickers that are still on cars that people are no longer employees. So we're going to be ordering those new stickers and decals soon, and that's going to be quite the undertaking. So we're going to give members an opportunity to either get them at the gate or come in here to the office and get them at your on your own free time. So we don't clog up the gate. So that's coming. With that, let's see, we got our 2 new trash trailers. The last board meeting, the board approves up to $7,000 for a trash trailer. I was able to find 2 trash trailers for under $7,000. And Unit 1 residents that are here, this is, just work with me, and we'll try to get this all figured out so that it works for everybody. Again, anytime we do something, there's going to be people who don't approve and then the people who do approve. Because change, it's just change. And this is just the fort. But we're gonna work together and try to achieve and accomplish Unit 1's issues. We ended up designating 2 trash trailers there instead of 1 because after further investigation, there was 4 different spots where they had trash receptacles, and just putting 1 down there wasn't going to be the answer. And Steve and his maintenance crew purposely walked out step by step from each area, from a resident to the trash trailer, to make sure that they all had equal distance to the trash trailer. God love you, Steve. So please don't lynch me on the trash trailer. Let's just come in and try to, as a community, work this one out, and we'll try to figure out where they belong. And if you want them a different color, you know, I'm sure Steve will paint them pink, purple, whatever you need. And then last but not least, which is going to be a work in progress. I don't know the ultimate answer. This will probably be on the board meeting in March. Our rental facilities. Rental facilities. As we move forward, the board and administration, we're trying to get to this place where everything is fair and it makes sense for the fort. And I want to be taken out of the position, and I'm sure some of the board members want to be taken out of the position of picking and choosing. I like your organization and I don't like your organization. And then this used to be a flat rate. And I'm trying to get us out of that business. So it's just fair, it makes sense. And, you know, there's a lot of rumors going on. And at the end of the day, from a leadership standpoint, we're just trying to do what's right for the fort. 7 months ago when I came in here, I kept hearing from everybody, this needs to be ran like a business, needs to be ran like a business. Well, we're trying to run it like a business. And it's going to be challenging because there's been a lot of handshakes, the good old boy thing, you can have this, but I'm going to charge you. So I think what I'm gonna suggest, and again, feedback from membership, feedback from the board, is gonna take all of these voices to come up with what the final solution's gonna be. But I think that the rental facility should be a flat rate, whether, no non-member, member rate, nonprofit, it just should be a flat rate. And then if you're a member in good standing, then it's 20% off of that flat rate. And then we'll have a nonprofit rate, which will come up with either it's 25% or 30%, so whatever is going to make sense. But it just needs to be a flat rate. And if you only need something for half a day, then maybe we'll have a half-day rate. But there's been some stuff that, when you get into the nonprofits, church groups are a nonprofit. Point in case, I'll just throw this out here for people to think about for the next month. We have a retreat going on here right now, and we have a lot of these retreats throughout the year. This retreat, of course, they're from a church organization, which would make them a nonprofit. So we have to really think this stuff through as we move forward and determine what is right. Well, we're making out $4,000 this weekend off of that retreat, from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we really have to think this through. Do we do a nonprofit rate for the locals? I don't know. But that's it. I'm throwing it out there for everybody to kind of think about. If you can come up with a great suggestion, email it to me. And we'll look it over. Because it's not about, again, and then organizations that they have functions here that raise money for us, like Fort Clark Days, or the Garden Club. Well, they exist only to give back solely to the fort. So how are we going to work that? I personally feel if you're raising money for the fort, you get the facility for zero cost or minimal cost. So these are things we're going to be thinking about as we figure this one out. What we currently do is we've been handing over the keys. If I rent a facility on Saturday, we hand out the key on Friday. Guess what the contract signed for? Saturday. Guess what they paid for? Saturday. So Friday, I need to set up. Well, in real business, if you need the building to set up the day before, you got to pay the fee. So these are some of the things that we are running into, and it's becoming a bigger monster, and especially now this is the season for renting facilities and having functions. This is what we're running into. So with that being said, let's move forward to what I'm sure you're anxiously awaiting to see, your financials. That's not going
On the spreadsheet.
Did everyone see that?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll kind of run through this real quick. You can see it. First column's the January financials, what we budgeted, and then 2012 actuals. Oops. So admin income totals were $139,992, as you can see. We're up from last year as far as income. And I would like to say for the deer harvest, we are at $36,000. I think it was $36,452, which was, this time last year was $30,000. So we're up $6,000. It's been a very successful deer hunt so far. We've got this weekend and next weekend left, and then we're done with that. And then it goes into planning how we're going to sustain the herd and develop that herd. yeah, we probably won't be having any Axis trophy hunts next year just because we've had 3 Axis buck poached this year that we know about. And our Axis buck are completely, we probably have 2 that are about trophy worthy. We got a few young bucks, but we're probably going to completely leave them alone next year so they have a fighting chance. Admin expenses for the month of January. Let me get down here to the total. Expenses totals were $106,571, which was up from last year, which was $102,000. Some of those expenses, you know, we spent about $4,500 on paint, boards for our benches, things of this nature, which we still profited between admin expenses and admin income, $33,000, $33,421. Maintenance expense, which was down from last year, $21,687, which is down from what we would have budgeted. Security expense is going to be up consistently each month just because we did add another full-time person to alleviate where we have one person only on the morning shift, which is not fair, especially when they had to go potty. So this will continuously, for the rest of the year, you'll see that increase. Landfill was $2,500. We had to ship out the container twice this month. Steve and his team are working feverishly so we can get rid of this expense. So hopefully we can do away with that container in the next couple of months and we'll save that money. Speaking of that, we had 2 dilapidated pieces of machinery down at the landfill that hadn't been moved in quite some time, a bulldozer and the road maintainer, grader. And Steve was able to get on this and sell it. We got $12,500 for the 2 pieces of metal that wouldn't move. So hopefully we can get new tractors or something. Golf course income, we had $13,660. You'll see the difference between last year, where you had $22,185. Big difference here is when the golf members pay their annual membership, it should be allocated out every month. Okay, so if I pay $1,600, then that $1,600 should be divided out in payments by 12 months. That's not what happened last year, and it all got thrown into one month, and that's why you see what you see. Pro shop expenses was $5,126, which is up from last year. Again, this is another department where you'll see a little bit higher expenses just because we're paying a little bit more in the payroll department. And golf maintenance, Domingo continues to keep this one lower than last year's numbers. He has been doing that ever since the first month I've been here. It's all about working more efficiently and just being aware of how much money you're spending on a daily basis. So I still give kudos to Mr. Domingo. So we show here that we lost $1,500, $1,535 in golf total. That's golf maintenance, pro shop, together, combined. Motel income, it's a pretty big jump there, $22,065, which is up from last year. Your expenses in motel pretty much stay the same. And then we factor in the maid expenses, which we have a total profit of $10,084. Which is up from last year at $1,487. RV park was up again, $24,000, 541. Shirley's pretty nervous about when our winter Texans leave, so we've been trying to, we're plotting at how we're gonna keep all the winter Texans here. We're gonna slash your tires and get you some swamp coolers. RV expenses, $7,521, which is a profit of $16,020. Here's your real estate income. This is going to be one that we're going to be tackling sooner than later. Meaning you'll start seeing our real estate that we have for sale up on our website, and actually getting our sweet little lovely Rihanna to be able to go out and show properties. So that's in the making and in the works, because you can't sell it if it's not marketed, right? And then we'll just scroll on down here through recreation. And all recreation departments. Total here, total expenses was $3,824, which we lost $2,802, obviously, because those are not revenue generating departments. All right, the big one, drum roll please. In our bank account, at the end of January, after all bills paid, $524,090. I didn't say that right. Good God, Jody, wake up. Anyway, this is the first time, and I've been working on this $500,000 marker since I've been here. And I had a moment. I had to praise baby Jesus. And this is phenomenal. And this takes a group of my department heads to really watch their spending to be able to reach this amount of money. And I want to continue to see that grow. I wish this was our savings account that this was in, but this is all of our bank accounts total. You can see last year, they only had $164,000 in their bank accounts. This doesn't include our CDs. This is just what is in our everyday accounts, which is a difference of $359,000. All right, so total profit for the month, $18,428, which is up from last year by almost $3,000 at $15,276. So, yeah, that's our financials.
Very good.
Very good.
You took a deep breath. Any other ones?
All right, let's go to our committee and organization report. Architectural. We've got 4 coming up Tuesday. And we've had continually, every month or every week, we've had architect work to do. But I want to stress a little bit that people who want to do construction, change, alter, whatever they want to do on their property, check your CC&R, see if you're allowed to do it, number one. And if you can and will, then go get a permit and turn it in to the architect committee, completed, so we know exactly what you want to do. Makes it a lot easier for us, and we can get it done real quick. Thank you. Recreation?
Yes, we've had good turnouts on our potluck. We will have another one Monday night at 6 o'clock. Missed a bunch of y'all. And we are planning a poker run for March 16th. Poker run with a hot dog dinner on March 16th, I believe. Okay, y'all come.
Thank you.
RV?
Good morning. As Jody showed you, we had a very good month in January. Our profit was up $3,000 from December, which December was pretty good, we thought. We're running 70% in January on being our occupancy. Last year, we ran 48%. So I think that's a real good improvement, and I just hope that it doesn't all fall apart when the winter Texans and the workers leave. Maybe we can get another group in. This week we had a committee meeting, and the committee voted to donate to Fort Clark Days. Glad to see that. Our breakfast is going good. We had 75 last week, and there was a good crowd when I left this morning. John, did you get a total?
About 60.
50 something? 60. Okay, we're down a little bit. I'm sure it's the cold weather because the pancakes were sure good. Let's see. Tonight at 7 o'clock, Mary Ellen Miner will be presenting a video that's entitled Life Along the Los Morris. She does a great job, and if y'all haven't seen one of hers, come out and see it. She does a really good presentation. And there will be refreshments after it, and that will begin at 7 o'clock in the kitchen at the RV Park. And then on the 23rd is our progressive dinner. If you haven't signed up for this, you only have till the 20th, which is Wednesday. The list is in the day room. The day room is open all day, so come stop by and put your name on it. And come out and really enjoy the fun times out there. I think that's about all I have, and I thank you very much. And come out and join us for breakfast, and we do appreciate the ones that come every Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you. Golf?
For the month of January, we had 1,134 rounds of golf played. 68 of those were guests, and as of last Wednesday's date, we had 484 rounds have been played so far this month. We currently have had a resignation of one of our committee members, at-large members, so if anybody is interested, we sure appreciate you to apply for that position. It's a lot of fun. We had Volunteer Day on February 4th. There were 5 people that came out, and we raked and picked up sticks and rocks and logs and all that stuff to get them off of the course. It looks really nice out there. We worked on hole number 12, and we'll continue to do that. The next day is the first Monday of March. The 4th, okay, March 4th will be the next one. So there is a volunteer sheet up in Pro Shop, so if you're like to do it, you know, bring your rakes and gloves and a lunch, and great, we'll be working on number 10. And the next tournament is today, actually. It's a 3-person skins tournament. It starts at 1 o'clock, and I don't know if Charles is in here or not. I don't know if they're still taking entries or not, but...
Yes, they are.
Are they? Okay, entry fee is 11, with 10 of those, $10 going to skins and $1 going to closest to the pin on hole number 11. And the end of the month tournament is scheduled for February 23rd, and the Los Morris tournament's coming up next month, so that's it.
Thank you. Preservation?
That's restoration.
Joseph?
We met Wednesday, and our target is the Post Theater, but we still are waiting for some more bids. We need contractors, so if anybody knows anyone or is interested, get in touch with Lee Winchell. Thank you.
Community Council?
Not community council, but I was shot an email this morning, wanted to know if I'd do a Fort Clark Festivals report. And right now, I think everything's pretty much on track with Fort Clark Days. We do need volunteers. We are trying to sell raffle tickets. I know the banners are up. You'll be seeing a lot more people putting up items as far as markers and banners and stuff like that in the next week or so. Be sure and come out. That's March 1st and 2nd. I think that there's a different atmosphere this year. We're trying to let more local people supply the food. The arts and crafts booths are right where they've been for the last couple of years as far as many people participating. The Valentine's dinner and dance last night, I hear, was a great success. I was told that they had sold out on tickets for what was allowable in the building. The chili cook-off. I think with the chili cook-off, that brought in $900 and something. And we're pretty much on track where we've been for the last couple of years as far as money coming in. We've got a lot more new donations from different people this year. Some of the old ones are less than what they've been, but we have had a tremendous influx of new people supporting our event. Thank you.
Thank you. Recycling?
Recycling sent another load out just recently. This one hopefully will be positive. The amount of material that we are collecting continues to grow every single month. I am going to start pleading for a baler so that we can maximize our revenue, decrease our shipping costs exponentially, and then we can keep our own cardboard, for example, and bale it. My understanding from figures for Brackettville, with our cardboard going over there, they clear about $7,500 a year on cardboard alone. Fort Clark contributes almost 2/3 of that. It isn't shipped until it's a full load, so there's no shipping fee. And each load generates approximately $2,500. In other words, Brackettville's shipping 3 times a year. So you can see the potential there. There's potential in a whole lot of other ways too, because if we're bailing and shipping less frequently, then bales typically weigh in the neighborhood of 1,000 pounds apiece, as opposed to gaylords that can range. Actually, a gaylord can weigh 1,000 pounds if it's stuck full of newspaper or mixed paper that's really been packed down. But baled, it'll go over that. Plus, there is a $40 per ton increase in what they pay for baled goods as opposed to loose per ton. So we're growing. Our volunteer crew is working very, very well this winter. We thank every single one of you who come out and volunteer your time. And we'll just keep on growing and saving our landfill.
Thank you. Let's move on to approval, board meeting videotaping regulations.
I'd like to make a motion that the Fort Clark Springs Association be the only one to do the video taping at our board meetings. Because of the misrepresentation of the video and their logo in the last month. Thank you.
Do I have a second?
I second that.
Any discussion?
Why are we're just gonna allow the fort to videotape, nobody else at all?
That's the proposal. The reason we're doing that is because of their video has been misconstrued as the Fort Association is saying this and saying that. Besides that, their video is put up on their website. Anybody that wants to view the video can go to our website. I'm sorry, we're not keeping people from seeing their website. Thank you.
And what happens if we quit taping it all at once?
We're not planning on quit taping it.
Well, we can't even get the notice of the board meeting up on our website in the right amount of time.
Your notifications for your board meeting, I'm sure you're referring to an email we all received this week. But, okay, so here's what we can, we download the video Saturday night, and it takes 24 hours to upload to YouTube, and then put the link on our website. So by 10 o'clock Sunday morning, the video is live. So it's not like we're gonna stop taping. There was a bit of miscommunication because one person has to go in and put the agenda and the notice of the meeting on the website. So 2 different things.
Yeah, I don't see why we need to stop anybody that wants to tape it in the audience.
Because they misused their videos.
unfortunately, this entire thing would not even be a subject for discussion or necessary, except that it appears that Fort videos and Fort logo are being used by independent websites representing themselves as Fort affiliation. Thank you. And it's unfair to the people that actually look into our websites and to come across websites that are not the Forts, but because of the way the videos and the logos have been used, people think that this is the information that the Fort is disseminating. So, short of drastic legal action, if that's even possible, the only way we can assure that the Fort is properly represented and the board meetings are properly represented is to make sure that the Fort is where this stuff is coming from. And it's an unfortunate situation, but this was the only thing that we could come up with to assure our members and non-members that read our websites, Facebook, YouTube, all those things, that this information is actually coming and is sanctioned by Fort Clark Springs. Again, this wouldn't be necessary if unofficial websites were spouting what they are trying to convince, maybe, is actually Fort business. So this is what we came up with. If we have our own cameras here, and we're recording and it is accurately posted, then we're hoping that people will be able to trust that website as having accurate information.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Any abstain?
Vote no or abstain, yeah.
Yeah, they're abstaining. Thank you. One abstain. Okay, next item, approval of an additional dump trailer. Young lady.
As we,
I need to make a motion.
I need to have-
I make a motion that we approve the claim for buying an additional dump trailer. Since we bought the two, we found out that we need more. I make a motion we buy an additional dump trailer.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Now, could you please explain and give us a dollar figure, if you please?
as you recall at the last meeting, I asked for 3 trailers, one for Unit 1, one for RV Park, and then one for maintenance. We still need a 3rd trailer. We'll continue to try out the 2 trailers at Unit 1, and then we still need an RV trash trailer. The whole reason this came about was so that, maintenance department didn't have to be here on weekends, and that's why, come to find out, why we had weekend workers, was to go get trash from Unit 1 and RV Park, and obviously motel. And when that happens, the maintenance manager was losing, so whoever worked on Saturday, Sunday, who was on call in the maintenance department, that means that that person had to be off sometime during the week, meaning a Thursday or Friday. So you're down a person. So in order to alleviate that, we needed to try this dump trailer situation with RV Park and Unit 1, because we were having to go to Unit 1 4 times a week to pick up trash. So we got these trash trailers that are $3,200, built to our specifications. They're 12 feet long, 6 feet wide, and already come with cages and whatnot. In sides and top, so coons can't and varmints can't get inside. So we're looking at about $3,200 for this next trailer. And that's it.
Thank you. Any more discussion?
Yes, I'd like to amend the amendment, but I didn't know how much funding was going to be. I'd like to amend the original motion that we approve a dump trailer and an amount of money not to exceed $3,200.
And I'll still second that one.
You're gonna need more than 30?
It's about $200 to have it shipped here.
Oh,
So 35.
I make a motion that we buy an additional dump trailer, that the funding for buying that dump trailer not to exceed $4,000.
And I will second that.
Any more discussion? All in favor? 4 voting. Okay. Next item, approval for startup funds for Los Morris Grill.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve startup funds of $15,000, not to exceed $20,000, to start up the Los Morris Grill.
Do I have a second?
I will second the motion only to open it for discussion.
Okay, the reason I went 15,000, not to exceed 20,000, it was estimated in the board packet that it would be 12,000, and I think $500 or something like that. $12,750. It's been my experience through life that if you estimate something, you usually wind up running a little bit more. And the only thing I'm going to do is basically make sure that there's enough funding to make sure that the grill is started up. We don't have to hold a special meeting or something to get it in progress.
I have some questions for Jody.
Okay, I'm just trying to clarify this for everyone. Jody, are these prices that you've estimated new or old equipment?
New
I mean,
equipment.
Used, new?
These are based on new, because I didn't know if I couldn't find something used, then I didn't want to get caught in a bind.
And to explain why we need this, perhaps you will explain to the board exactly how bad a condition the equipment in the kitchen is in right now.
So, I really want this to be successful. The whole prompting of the idea is to kind of help offset some of the expenses in the golf course. Not only that, given a place for people to go and enjoy a great scenery, have a decent little meal, and maybe a drink. So we all know, I think we at some point or another have stuck our heads in this kitchen at Los Morris Grill. And we don't have commercial equipment down there. It's still just a regular kitchen oven. Tabletop griddle that half works. Apparently only one side works, and that's electrical. The stove is electrical. We have a tabletop, 2 deep fryer, and it's a limited amount of space, and so we have to be wise on how we utilize the space to make it functional. Because the last thing I want to have happen are people sitting and waiting at their tables, getting served one at a time, an hour later. Not fun, and you guys won't come back. So what I'm proposing is I'll go down a list here so everybody is apprised to what the board is seeing and what I'm offering up and suggesting. A commercial stove, gas range, it has a broiler, it's a griddle, it's got 6 burners, 2 ovens. It's approximately 54 inches. By putting that in there, I'll be able to get rid of the 36-inch griddle. I'll be able to buy some space back. Also, I'm proposing that I'm going to try to use the deep fryer that's a Vulcan over here at Dickman Hall, just sitting. Hopefully that works out. I don't have to pay $1,000 for a deep fryer. So I'll save some money there. We need a under-the-counter ice machine. We're looking at $1,300 for that. let me go back to that commercial oven. Is $2,500 is the approximate price. We need a deep freezer. I don't know how familiar you people are with the storage area and the back side of the grill. We need a deep freezer, obviously, to be able to store some frozen food. A POS system, which you guys will be excited that I have this on the list, because I am. We're looking at a POS system, which is about $2,500, meaning that when food is dropped off, it's scanned into the system, and then you ring up your table, and it then rings up your tickets, and there's checks and balances. And I'm looking to get that set up with QuickBooks. That way, whatever's happening live down there, we get to see up here in the accounting office. So to help keep those checks and balances, and keep everyone honest. So just trying to prevent the future questions. Cold storage prep table, looking at $1,600 for that approximately, meaning the top part of a cold prep table, it's got a cutting board on top. It has places to put like your cut vegetables and whatnot, preparing, like if we're doing pico de gallo or something of this nature, it's all right there organized on top. And then also below, it's a refrigeration system. So another way of utilizing space correctly. Have on here a wine cooler. So we have beer coolers. We're able to recycle the ones that we had in Dickman Hall. Keeping my fingers crossed they keep ticking along with some little bit of loving and care. So all you need is a wine cooler, $300. I get that at Home Depot, just so that people can enjoy a bottle of wine with their, or a glass of wine with their dinner. I have on here garbage disposal. Currently that 3-bay sink in the kitchen doesn't have a garbage disposal on it. $300, Home Depot. It's about $800 if I would go commercial grade, but you know, I don't think we need to go that route. Pans, baskets, utensils, storage containers, just the basic cooking items. We're looking at $1,000 on that. Food and ingredients, we're able to get a price sheet from Cisco and price everything out. You've got to get your big things of salt and pepper and all the different spices that we need, the meat. Start up there looking at $1,500. Beer and wine stock to get started, I'm approximating $800. Heat lamps, so whenever he prepares one meal, it sits right here so it can stay warm while he prepares the more intense meal, so that everybody gets served at once, which gives us a grand total estimate of $12,750.
Okay, is this a lease option? Is someone leasing the restaurant, or is our manager an employee and it's Fort Clark's restaurant?
The manager is an employee. He works for Fort Clark Springs because Fort Clark Springs is opening this restaurant. Now, as Norman gets on his feet, I need to hire a few more people, some waitresses and whatnot. And eventually we'll be getting into where we're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But I want to test the waters. We need to work out the kinks. But all those staff members will be under Fort Clark Springs. And I'm calling this Los Morris Grill because y'all know we have Los Morris Corporation. And so we'll be running all those funds, expenses, and income through Los Morris Corporation. And then you will be able to then be incorporated in our financial reports so that everybody gets to see what it's doing. And in the restaurant field, if you're making 30% profit, you're doing really good. So we're going to shoot between 15 and 25%. We want to try to keep our cost of food down, not overprice it. You can go and have a good meal without breaking the bank. So again, we're going to really ease into this.
A point, what you have there now is electric versus what you're putting in is gas, so that everybody knows you have the gas there, but you're getting rid of the electric, it's too expensive.
Correct. All the stuff we're looking at is we're going to put in for gas. And thank God you said this. So all of that stuff that we're taking out, meaning the regular kitchen stove, the tabletop fryer, and the 36-inch griddle, I want to take out, we're going to put down at the duck end. because this summer I have every intention of opening up Duck Inn, running it through the fort, so you can have like your Frito chili pies, your little burgers, and recycle and use that equipment down at Duck Inn. That is the plan, so it's not going to go anywhere. I think we're missing out on making money down at the swim park in the summertime, so this is another way of capturing and making a little bit extra money, and who knows, maybe we'll actually have some snow cone machines and all that stuff.
Jody,
Yes.
I noticed in the stuff that you need, is the dishes are out there, we have enough to open the restaurant, or are we gonna have to get more dishes?
We're going to try to keep it minimal on plates because you don't have enough room for, if somebody's washing dishes constantly and then you got the cook, if they back up, they're hitting backsides. So a lot of this stuff is going to be in your red baskets with the red and white wax paper. We're trying to minimize the amount of plates that we do use. So yes, we have enough plates. We don't have enough of the red baskets, and those are pretty cheap. If this gets approved, Norman and I will probably end up going to San Antonio to Restaurant Depot Place and buying all this stuff in one shot.
Did anybody run any numbers on it to see like anticipated gross and what kind of cash flow it'll produce?
Mm-hmm. Again, this is kind of a shot in the dark, you know, on your biggest markup in the return in revenue is going to be from your alcohol sales. The pro shop currently on the weekend, let's say for now, during the height of the season, on a Saturday and Sunday, they're bringing in beer sales alone about $500. So when we open up this place, the grill, people can come and sit. Maybe ladies can come and enjoy a glass of wine. Our alcohol sales are going to be what kicks this into a revenue-generating facility. So with that being said, Friday and Saturday, if you're serving lunch, starting at 11, so you have lunch, then you get the golfers come in, they'll probably drink, have a few snacks, and you have a 4 o'clock crowd, 4 to 8, people will be sitting and having snacks or some type of food. We're looking at $1,000 a day, rough estimate. And again, we will create a whole budget for the restaurant. It's a shot in the dark until we actually get up and running.
So we're talking about $200 to $300 a day in profit.
It depends on how much beer we're going to sell. Your cost of food is a lot more than your cost of alcohol. People are going to sit and drink more than they're going to sit and eat. So if you're selling a beer for $2 a beer, we got some lushos down at the golf course. Sorry guys. It's okay. You make the world go round. We love you.
I'll also be aware that televisions were donated to the restaurant and are in place for golf tournaments and football, baseball, whatever. And right now, people go down to the green room and on the weekends and just to watch golf tournaments on that big, ugly, gross television set. So instead of that, now they'll be in the back and we'll generate some income for the fort.
Mm-hmm. We'll be having live bands and stuff as the weather gets better. We'll have outdoor bands playing on the patio. We're anticipating like having something special for Mother's Day, Father's Day, something special that's not served on your menu. The restaurant manager will be able to advertise. He will be able to advertise and coordinate catering out there. If somebody wants to have a private event, it'll all be ran through that restaurant, not something I would run from the admin standpoint. To answer your question, I would think if I'm bringing in, if we did a rough estimate, and here's a rough estimate. Average person coming in there, if you're just going to have a basket of food or a plate of food, iced tea or Coke, your average person is going to spend about $6.50. That's on the low end. So then if we had 60 people a day, just 60 people, this is not including your alcohol sales, you would be making about, oh gosh, what was it, $800? Now if you throw in your alcohol sales, and we're not even talking about reenacting our liquor license yet, This is just beer and wine. And you're well over $1,000 a day. And only being open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you leave it to be desired to want to come and check it out.
But you said at 20 to 30%, so you're gonna,
That's in a restaurant. That's if I was just food only.
well, if we make $200 a day, it'll take almost 2 years to pay out our investment.
Oh, you'll be making more than $200 a day. If the golf if the golf course alone is selling, and it's not even, we're not even that hustle and bustle, and no advertisement, $500 on a weekend, Saturday weekend, and then a Sunday, that's $1,000 just from the golf course.
All right. All right, no. No. Any more discussion from the board? May I have a vote? All those in favor of approving this money? Motion passes. Next item, the discussion, consideration, engineering for the spring area. I don't know if anybody's been down there, or, can you hear me? I'll eat it, okay. Down in the spring area, I don't know if anybody's been down there and has walked around and noticed the lovely orange fencing and tape. It's there for a very serious reason. We have water that is in the ground, and it's supposed to be in the spring. So we have a dilemma, which is turning into a major dilemma. So this item here is to bring in some engineer. We haven't declared who it would be or anything like that, but just to pursue bringing somebody in to find out the extent of what we have to do to corral this particular problem.
I'd like to make a motion that we bring in an engineer to study and measures to correct the leakage from the pond area at the swimming pool.
Do I have a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, we need to, I agree that we need an engineer to look at it. It's one of the things I suggested last spring, that we need to have somebody look at the pool area because of the water infiltration from either leaks in the pool and the spring, but I think possibly as much other springs that are in the area that aren't in the pool, you know, that aren't in the actual spring itself. And that water is just migrating toward the creek. However, we need to be careful of how much money we spend on an engineer. I don't want to give them a carte blanche $2 million engineering bill to come up with a solution. So I don't know how we go about doing that without getting a big bill.
Fortunately, you know, I have some friends around town that can put me in the right direction. So I've got a couple of names and numbers of some hydrologists that can maybe help educate me a little bit more and point me in the right direction, so I'm not wasting work money on an engineer just yet, and get a little bit more guidance. So when we do get an engineer out to consult, we're not paying a big load. So at one time, just for consulting. This isn't to actually take action, it would just be for consulting. I've got a couple of names that I'm going to talk to before we ever get to bringing in an engineer firm. And I'm hoping that our engineer firm that comes out quarterly, that checks the landfill for methane, can maybe just take a look at it. Because I think we've kind of made some friends here, so if we're already paying for them to come here to do the landfill testing, I can just shoot them over and say, hey, what do you think about the pool area?
Are there by any chance any kind of a blueprint deal left from when they built the pool originally, or, I mean, that would be handy for them to see how the foundations were constructed, whether it's leaking through the wall, through the foundation, or just coming up out of the ground.
Maybe we can ask Russell if there's something at the Historical Society. I haven't seen any blueprints on the pool. I've seen some mules and plows digging it out, but no blueprint.
Yeah, when the Corps built it, the Corps probably built it, I don't know if they would have had something. That would be helpful to an engineer to look at.
Sure.
If it was available.
Yeah, okay. So what we're looking for here is is just an approval to get a look at the situation to see how bad it is. Nothing else than that.
It's severe.
I know it's severe.
I don't know, the reason I didn't allocate any funding to get a consultant in, an engineering consultant in, is I have no idea what, an engineering consulting is gonna cost.
They're about $75 an hour, and then drive time, they charge you for that too.
And Ruby, how many hours do you think it would take to
I have no idea. Could we, I guess, get somebody in and then reconvene and talk to them and see what their results are before a long time? You know, shortly after they're here or while they're here.
Okay, I'll withdraw my motion if you'll make another motion as to how you think it should be handled.
I move that we investigate getting an engineer or some hydrologist staff to look at the pool and give us some recommendations on it and report to the board as soon as possible their recommendations.
Do I have a second?
I will second.
All right, I think we've discussed it to death. All in favor? Motion passes. I'm sorry I didn't recognize any hands out there because we have a rule in effect that we do not recognize hands in the audience going up, and I don't care how high you lift them.
Okay, fine.
Any comments come on the member discussion? Which is coming up right now.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Do we got anybody on the list, you know?
I didn't write my name on the list.
There's only two. Do you want to be on the list, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
Phil, do you want to be on the list too?
And what was your name?
Elise Huntsman.
If you want to hear about the spring, yes.
Well, put your name on the list like anyone else.
No.
Put your name on the list.
All right, ladies.
First name, Jack Howard.
Well, is this on? Anybody hear me? I guess everybody got the email that was sent out by some political group. I don't care to address the content of it, but I'd like to ask the board to follow up on how an organization can use our association name to send out stuff like this. If it was legal, if it's not legal, then I would like to see you pursue that to see if we can have some kind of charges brought against them by misrepresenting themselves as Fort Clark Springs Association to send out political trash. And the other thing that I would like you to look into is how this organization or person got all our email addresses from the association. I'm asking a question, is our email addresses are they open to the public or are they private? Does the Fort Clark Springs administration give out our emails to just anyone? So I would like to know if you find out how they got access to all the membership email addresses to send out stuff like this. As far as the letter itself, the only person that really got upset about it was my wife because of the fact that it was insinuated that I was bisexual and also a philanderer. And she can attest that's not true. And the other thing is that it said that I may be here 10% of the time. I think the fort would be a lot better off if whoever wrote this was only here 10% of the time.
Mary Frances?
Oh, well, I got on just.
It's not there, sir. It's here.
I put my name on the list every time I come because I don't know what my question's going to be until the meeting happens, you see. So, my real question got answered because I was going to ask about the liquor license. We're not going to have that at
Los
Not
Morris
yet.
yet, is that
Not
right?
yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. My other question is, would you tell us please who the manager is, where you found him, what his credentials are, so we can get to know him first before we get to know him?
His name is Norman John. I think I mentioned that earlier. He is a local Brackettville resident, and he's been in the restaurant industry for approximately in and out, roughly 10 years. And that's what took so long to get this place open and move forward, because it took about 3 good months to go through and try to find who's going to be the right fit. And Norman posed himself. I think I interviewed him two months ago for another position, and in a conversation there and him speaking, it prompted like, wow, I also see on your resume you have here some restaurant experience as a cook. He's ran a few different restaurants here at in Brackettville, and he has some phenomenal dishes, some phenomenal ideas, and he's really excited to have this opportunity. And one of his most endearing things that he said during the interview was, ever since I was a little boy, I've been coming down here, and I've always dreamed of opening this place. So, being able to give him the opportunity to have this place in a sense and run it, and actually, it's almost like making a dream come true. And he's going to be good because he's willing to get in there and get dirty. Any other questions?
Elise?
Oh, am I next? Well, I think that you should consider consulting TCEQ. I think they need to be involved in whatever happens with that water coming out of the spring, because it belongs to TCEQ.
They might do it for free.
I don't know if I'm sure they do it for free, don't they? They don't charge you.
No.
But I do think that that should be included. That's why I raised my hand, because I thought it should be included in the motion.
Right. Thank you. We realize that, though. Thank you. Mr. Gifford? Yes.
Yes, my name is Guillermo Guzman. I'm a member of good standing. I reside in Unit 27. I regret I haven't been coming to more meetings to follow the proper decorum. Recently, this week specifically, I heard that there was 2 burglaries.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
This week specifically, I heard there was 2 burglaries here on the fort. One for sure, and one is I'm not sure about. And really, I came to see if anybody knows any more about it, if it's confirmed. Has there been a rash of burglaries? It's my understanding this one particular burglary, there was, it made no sense to me. They broke the guy's lock and they stole his golf cart, went to the house and stole his jewelry. This was in the Oaks area. And the other place, I don't know exactly the details, but in the paper said there was 1 burglary on Fort Clark. So I've lived here now going on 9 years. I think we can do a great job. If everyone keeps their eyes open, pays attention, this could be a great crime watch area. But does anybody on the board or administration know about these burglaries?
I haven't heard anything specifically about the Oaks. I know that we have a troubled area, and there's, I think, one of the stories from my head of security is some family members stealing from another family member situation. And there are people in a group that are identified. We just have to catch them in the act. So as far as several or 2, I am not aware.
Okay, well, nothing else. I think we all ought to be paying more attention to our neighbors, our environment. Criminals never, my background is I'm a federal probation officer. Crime never stops. It's consistent. And I know we have a lot of strangers or new folks coming through here. And I just find it ironic that they stole this guy's golf cart. My golf cart sits on my porch. Anybody can steal it anytime they want. I hope that never happens. But anyway, thank you very much.
another question?
I apologize, I didn't want to interrupt you people because it's really not polite, but just a quick comment. My name's Kathleen Warren. Years ago, I think we used to publish delinquent members and used to post it on the board. I know a lot of municipalities and tax assessors publish delinquent people in the paper. Can we legally do that again to embarrass these guys? That's just a thought, okay? I'm tired of delinquency.
We used to have it on the board.
We did used to have it, as far as I know, we can post a delinquent notice without the amount of money that they owe.
Oh, okay. That'll work.
And again, we send out letters. What we're doing differently now is at 30 days, when somebody's 30 days late. It used to be, if they're 60 days late, then we'd send a letter. Well, if they're 30 days late, we're trying to jump on it, give a call, send a letter. Hey, I understand if things happen in your life and you get behind. But it's just kind of that reminder there are payment options. And so we do the 30-day, the 60-day, and the 90-day. We've sent all that stuff out. And there are a lot of people that are coming in and getting on a payment plan. And it's, like I said, Beverly collected $7,000 last month alone. The month before that was $12,000 in collections. And I don't necessarily want to embarrass people just because there's hardship. And then there's all those people that too are just like, I don't care, make me. And that's where we're making this serious. We are filing liens. We have already put about 6 liens, I believe, so that people can't sell their property without paying us and us getting our money. Then we'll start the foreclosure process. We are in the works of doing that. I agree. When you have $500,000 in delinquent accounts, there's a problem. Now granted, anything past 3 years, we probably won't get back. So we have to find a way of getting that written off and really focusing on the people that we can actually collect this money on.
No, I think you're doing a bang-up job, and I realize you have a problem with the homeowners association, all those bylaws, but no, it's great. Thank you.
Thank you. It's now 10:19. We're going to recess to go to executive session. Get your call?